Hey ladies and gentlemen, HarlequinCoHO here, and I've got another nice quick 1v1 for you. This one today was submitted by ImperialDane, as he is known on the forums, and plays under OberstDane. Now OberstDane is a top 50 player, and as you can see here, he is a Blitzkrieg commander. And I'll just take a quick look at him. You can see he does have the Pioneer rifles. He is building his Wehrmacht quarters right off the bat and right in front of his base. And pretty standard layout here. He's got infantry pillage, flares, stormtroopers, manpower blitz, and heavy armor support. Those are pretty much all of my favorite Blitzkrieg abilities. And his opponent today is going to be Ficon, who's going to be playing as the infantry commander in the south. Ficon has his advanced defense engineers taken off to the left-hand side, whereas his first engineers, who do have 20% cap speed, are just finishing building the barracks, and we will likely see some sort of rifleman coming out of there right away. So just to take a look at his abilities, he has forward barracks, heroic charge, camouflage, engineer rifleman, and ranger reinforcements. So no attrition or anything like that. And interesting, I mean, you know, infantry has a lot of fun abilities, so no problem with that directly. And let's take a look at the above map here and take a look at what everybody's picking out. So you can see that right away it looks like OberstDane is going to be grabbing his 2 easy cap points on the right. He's got the fuel point and the munitions point. And then meanwhile he's got this strategic point underway, so he's likely going to go out to a nice looking spread over there on the left. And his opponent is largely doing the exact same thing. They're pretty much mirroring each other's captures with respect to the way that this map is laid out. We'll take a look at this first Volksgrenadier unit out there. We'll see it does have the 30% reinforcement cost, 9% accuracy, oh, and the purple 24% squad health, the epic army item for his Volksgrenadiers there. So 24% increased health, pretty significant number. Meanwhile, first squad of riflemen out here for Ficon. You can see he's got 6% accuracy and 6% armor. And we're going to have a little bit of a skirmish here. Looks like everybody's opening fire and doing their thing. And like I said, this was a viewer submission, and this is a pretty, a pretty good medium to high level game. Like I said, OberstDane is top 50, and his opponent here I think was like, somewhere in the top 5%. So another pretty standard game. We got a lot of requests for more regular games. People just kind of like seeing what's out there on the ladder. So here's some variety for all of us. And now I do like this positioning here because the Volks were engaging these riflemen, running the engineers up. Is either going to do a little bit more damage. Got to get them out of there, though, taking some shots. He was very quick to focus down the engineers, though, which I think was unexpected. I'm pretty sure Ficon was just hoping that the engineers would just kind of provide some cover. And now the riflemen are getting focused once again. Luckily, we do have a level 4 assault jeep coming up here. I believe at level 4 it cannot cap points, but otherwise it has a bunch of regular bonuses. Normally, a level 5 assault jeep can actually capture victory points and stuff like that. Really getting nitty-gritty with this assault jeep. I like that he's kind of shoving apart the squad and that sort of thing. Normally, you don't want to get so close to a bunch of guys with rifles because they tend to do extreme damage, but looks like the assault jeep is doing okay. And meanwhile, the riflemen have just continued to get picked off over and over and over again. You can see that this extra 24% health is really helping out OberstDane, and looks like he had a pretty solid victory there. And you can see, good job of retreating. You'll notice that he didn't, Ficon didn't like lose all of his units or anything like that. He is resupplying them. Very important for players to remember that you don't want to lose your whole squads. You need to retreat before they take lethal damage, and so that's what he's doing. Meanwhile, the defense engineers up here are just kind of capping away. Putting some supporting fire on the Pioneers and forcing them to stop capturing this victory point. Usually when you're capturing a point, one of your guys is responsible for capping the point and will not return fire. So in the case of Pioneers, capping a point means that only one dude is firing his rifle at that time. We've got some interesting avant-garde barbed wire work going on for OberstDane, and hopefully we'll see what he's up to. I honestly am not sure what he's trying to do. I mean, to some extent this restricts movement a little bit. It prevents forward capture. And in general, I'm not opposed to this kind of stuff. A lot of people, I think it's a newbie mistake to think that barbed wire has to completely, restrict movement to certain places, i.e. I'm going to completely seal off this entrance or completely box in this cap point or something like that. And I think, staggered lines of barbed wire can be really effective. I've seen many games where one player will have 2 rows that, don't quite touch, just so that you can actually get through them, but they just force you to go into small channels. Whoa, and the Volksgrenadier is taking some serious pressure here. Going to get the cap and likely retreat right afterwards. Yep, waiting just long enough to get that cap, and will they both get away? It looks like they do with just a sliver of health. Once again, we can see that 24% health item really helping out there. Nice movement up here of the HMG team. Does have the 15% increased weapon damage. That is a blue quality army item, doing some serious damage to the guys here. And now you'll see that this really is effective. They kind of have to crawl out of the way here. Great flanking going on, though. The Gladiator Riflemen are on the field for Ficon. If you're not familiar with Gladiator Riflemen, they have epic armor, sticky bombs, hand grenades, and they can heroic charge, basically, or fire themselves up and run. A little bit of shuffling here while the machine gun tries to get into the building. Has to be careful, though, because there's a hand grenade going into the building. Boom! Oh, it looks like a single Volksgrenadier taken out and 2 machine gunners killed by that. Oh, here we go. And killed by that hand grenade. So now we have... Pillage is activated. You can see that they got a small little heal there, and they got some money back when they were killing guys with Pillage. Pillage, you can sometimes upgrade it so that it will heal the squad a little bit every time they pillage. Looks like this heavy machine gunner is just kind of looking for a home now. Good, there we go. He's retreating, and we even have some half-built mines here. So Dane might be a little bit distracted at the moment trying to deal with all this stuff. And here, here we have some cool-looking stuff. And you know, that probably that could very well be watertight. It's hard to tell, but you might be actually be impossible to get in there. I'm not really sure. He could be just smarter than me, or just kind of putting traps out everywhere. It actually reminds me, I don't know if you guys ever see the videos where they show you like, oh, this is what a spider web looks like when the spider's drunk. This is what a spider web looks like when the spider is high. That kind of thing. So I'm not really sure what he's getting at here, but honestly I think it is restricting movement in a useful way, so why the hell not? Meanwhile, we do have the assault Jeep is moving around in front here, getting kind of sniped a little bit by these Volksgrenadiers, and now having to retreat. A little bit of forward mines here. It's always interesting. It always seems like just the random odd-placed mines actually end up being quite effective. It seems like everybody always expects mines to be by a flag. Nobody ever expects just a random mine in the middle of nowhere, so I'll be sure to keep an eye on that and see if that actually gets used. Now, it's important to note, let's take a big look here at the map, since it looks like fighting is going down for just the time being, that Dane was very intentionally grabbing the right-hand side, and he grabbed it hard, whereas on the left-hand side, he really didn't push out there at all and just kind of folded to that. And I always think that's a smart idea, because honestly, in this map, the top position very naturally wants to expand outward and to the left, and has a very natural control of the left-hand side of the map, whereas the right-hand side of the map tends to be awkward, because right away you hit buildings and weird things like that. However, the right-hand side of the map has 2 victory points, so really it's in anyone's benefit to control the right side of the map if it's going to be a left-right style game, and fight on the opposite side just to distract. And a lot of winning strategies that I've seen on this map involve controlling just the right-hand side. It tends to be kind of awkward to control both bottom ones, because you have this big divide between your forces with this hedgerow moving all the way up the road here. So we'll see where that's going to go. During the time I was talking, Krieg Barracks completed, and OberstDane now has a single anti-tank gun out, as well as some Grenadiers, who also benefit from the reduced reinforcement costs and the extra armor. And for Ficon, sorry. Let me switch to his point of view, just so we can get an idea what he's building. But he just has a single barracks out right now. So single assault jeep, and we'll take a look at his army right now. 3 rifleman squads and 2 engineer squads, one of them being the hero engineer. Good-looking shots going on here. We do have camo activated here for these engineers that were up there capping that, and even planting 2 mines up there. So that's a pretty well-defended point. These engineers getting suppressed a little bit, while the Gladiator Riflemen are kind of exchanging some shots with the remaining Volksgrenadiers here. It looks like the Grenadiers are actually there as well. You know, and now I see this everywhere I go. Someone on the forums was complaining at how white the Grenadiers' uniforms were, and they really do stand out as very, very white, and I'm not sure why that is. Hand grenade! Oh, and good retreat! Look at that quick... I mean, retreat is the fastest way to do that, but really, he just took a little bit of light damage there. Not bad. Anti-tank gun supporting the machine gun, just kind of, you know... Anti-tank guns kind of, you know, they're like a lot of heavy things when you use them against infantry. They kind of suck. They have a 1 effectiveness against infantry, but if they happen to hit one, they tend to kill the guy. The assault jeep here is really getting damaged, needs to back away, taking some shots. The bargain Volksgrenadiers now, and I'm surprised to see these so late in the game. Honestly, level 5 bargain Volksgrenadiers, boom! Taking out the jeep. Level 5 bargain Volksgrenadiers cost a lot less and have more hit points and stuff, and they're generally just superior in every way to regular Volksgrenadiers, so I'm surprised that he started off with them. But maybe he wanted to get his army items out there first before he used that one. Who knows, but very cheap unit there, very cost-effective unit. And now we do see that tank depot is going down. So supply yard and tank depot going down for Ficon. A strange choice. I really don't think he has the fuel to support a tank depot at this point, and this might be sort of a newbie move on his part. You really have to think forward a couple of steps. You know, you got to take the cost of the supply yard, the cost of the tank depot, and then the fuel required. And at 26 fuel per minute, it's going to be at least... Whoa! And that single mine doing some damage up here. So you can see, you know, it's okay. I don't like the mines this close to the barbed wire because they tend to destroy the barbed wire when they go off. But now he's able to support and kind of defend this area a little bit more. But like I was going to say, it's unlikely that we're going to be able to get anything too quick out of that. Maybe he'll get a Sherman. Maybe, I think he's probably just going for a fast M10 tank destroyer. But we'll see. A little bit of shooting going on here. You can see the gladiators are fired up right now. They're running, breaking suppression, and still taking a lot of casualties. Maybe they'll throw a grenade in that window. Kind of would like to see that. These riflemen just barely able to cap this point here. But the bargain folks